guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So it's Shabby Saturday and I thought we would do some little flowers. Now these flowers are one with the wire in them. So the petals have wire, so you can sort of like move them about a little bit and shape them. I put glitter on these ones. These are the ones I did a little while ago, which are beautiful. I just think they're nice and sparkly, and they make a nice little Christmas one as well, don't they? If you sort of like did them in red, or just a shabby Christmas one. Super simple, really simple as well. This one I've made into like a little clip, so you can just clip it onto, you know, anything that you want to. This one I haven't done anything on the back, but they are just lovely. This one I've actually got some leaves on, so I'll show you how to make these as well, which are just little ribbon leaves, a little organza ribbon. And this one I popped onto like a little brooch. It's got a little brooch pin on that one, so you can use them for however you like. That popped onto like a little jacket would look lovely, I think. Really lovely. Now this one, I think it's this one, it's just got a little bit of the wire popping through, and these ones are ones where I actually ironed. I'm doing it a little bit different today. I ironed like this is like a hem tape, you know, that sticky one where you iron things down. I'm not going to use that today. I'm going to use double-sided tape because I think it'll be easier if you're starting out to do that. These ones have all been ironed, but they are just beautiful, and I'm using velvet. I've made a little diddy one, look, and I popped it onto a ring, and I just love it. I thought it was just, look how cute that is. I'm really loving that. Can you see? Oh, it's not a ring that you could wear every day, but if you were going out, you could sort of make yourself a little ring, and it's just on one of those little antique looking metal ones, quite cheap. It's, you know, they go to, you know, any size, but I just think that's so pretty, so I'm going to wear it while we make today. Now I'm going to use some of this, which is the same that I've used on here, which is sort of like a velvet. I'm doing all velvet ones today. I've got some ready to do, so we can do lots. Now this fabric is not too level, but you want 2 strips of fabric. Now I'm using double-sided tape. This one is, let me just get my ruler a minute. This is 2 inches, so what's that, 5 centimeters, just slightly under wide. But again, depending on what size flowers you use, you can, you know, pick your tape and things like that. And the wire I'm using, I've got 3 different ones here. This is 6mm, 0.6, and this is just nice thin, you know, jewellery wire. This one is 0.35, so it depends how delicate you want it and what sort of fabric you're using. And this is just the one that I always use, and it is the florist wire. Now again, you can use florist wire. Actually, I've got some here. I think I got this in England. This is just florist wire that you can buy. I'll pop a link under the video as well, so you can use that as well. You can just buy little you know, strips of it, but I'm going to use these. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pop these to the side like that. I've got things ready to go as well, but I'm going to show you how we do it. I'm going to put the tape on here. This is quite, well, it's not difficult, but it's, you know, you've got to get it right. So I'm just going to stick this on here. Make sure your fabric is bigger than your tape to start with. Like that. So just tape it down. Now if you wanted to use the hem tape like this, then what you do is you would put this down first. You would lay your little petals on out of wire, and then put another one on top, not one with double-sided, and iron it together. So you've got to be careful what fabric you're using, you know, so it doesn't melt. So that's why I thought I would do it with double-sided tape, because it's going to be easier, because, you know, most of us have double-sided tape in the house, don't we? And you can have a go at this really quickly, which is a good one if you fancy doing that. So I'm just going to pop that in the middle, stick that down and chop that off. I've just sharpened all my scissors. I found my little, I'll just show you, my little Fiskars scissor sharpener. Just give you a quick peek. Look, it's so simple to do. I found it in my drawer while I was rooting through to look for some stuff. And all you do is you've got the two little holes, you pop those through, and then you pretend to cut. So it just does that. And you can just snip it right to the end, and it sharpens right at the end. So you just got those two little holes, and it's great. So that's what I did. Sharpened all my scissors. Things we do in between doing other things. So there we go, I thought I'd just quickly show you that. So nice sharp scissors now. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just cut down the edge. Just like that, just so one side is right up against that tape. Like that. So we shall prepare these first. Just that one, and then should we do this side? Let's do this side. Again, you can use, you know, cotton fabric, and don't use anything too thin if you're using double-sided tape, because you don't want it to go through, do you? You don't want the stickiness to come through. I'm going to throw those away. We don't need those. So there we go. We've got those two ready. I'm going to pop those to the side because we're going to make the petals now. So I'm going to take this wire like this. I am using my stickles as a little thing to wrap around, and this is, because you'll roughly know what stickles bottle looks like, it's 2.5 centimeters, so that's just under, it shows just under an inch. So I'm twisting it round, take that off, where's my little cutters, and take that down. We don't need it that long, so we want 9 of these. So I found it easier. This one has got 12 in, but this one's got 9 in, and this one's got 9 in, and I think you don't need any more than that unless you want a big flower. Then obviously if you want a bigger flower, then wrap it around something a little bit bigger, so maybe your 3-in-1 or something like that. But you just need to wrap it round, so we need to just do 8 of these. Not 8, 9. Not too tight because you won't be able to get it off. But yeah, you can have lots of, you can use scrap fabric, can't you? So you can do it. You don't have to have the petals all the same colour. You could have a nice little mixed one, and used up some fabric. You can use cottons, you can use all sorts of things. You can use a nice satiny one. Oh, I had another one. Oh, here's the other one that I did. There's this one, sort of like a satiny one. I think this is probably one of the first ones I made. But they are, you know, lovely, really lovely. And if you like your shabby flowers, you can make them nice and big and pretty, and then again you can just put whatever you like in the middle of your flower. If you've got a nice crystal, you could sew in something. But again, sewing in, actually, the way I'm doing it here, sewing in beads and stuff would be quite difficult because you'd have this wire in the way. But you could sew onto another little bit of felt or something and stick it in. So what we've got 6 there. Doing it with like florist wire, it's quite inexpensive as well. So don't use anything that's too expensive. Just find yourself some nice cheap wire somewhere, because you're just going to cover it up anyway. This one makes your fingers really dirty. So, well, I wasn't going to do a video because it was raining so hard and hitting my window that it was really, really loud, and it's sort of stopped now. It's calmed down, so let's hope it doesn't start again. We've had awful weather. I've actually put a shirt on today, a long sleeved, because I don't normally wear long sleeves when I'm working, because I find they get in the way. But it's chilly. I normally have my windows open and stuff, but now it's like everything's shut up because it's really cold. Even the house, I don't want the house to get too cold. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we've got 9 of them. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull them just so they go a little bit longer, so you can shape them to however you would like them shaped. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just pulling them just a little bit, but we're going to sort of shape them anyway. Twist them up in a minute. I'm just going to pull these out like that, just a little bit, just tug a little bit like that. And then this is the hard bit, this is the bit that's quite difficult, it's getting the backing off this. No, I didn't use that, I actually used my little pin to just try and get the backing off the tape without taking everything else off. I actually got the other ones that I'm going to do, because I'll do a couple of these. There we go. I've got them ready. So I'm going to take that off like that. Just be careful, because sometimes it has a mind of its own and it sticks to each other. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to put one this way. So you want the sort of bottom of where you twisted. I'm going to pop it like that, I think. Like that. Bottom of where you twisted at the bottom of here. So let's just do them like that. I think I could probably fit them all on here then. You want a bit of a gap in between. I could have probably done a bit of a bigger gap like that. I'm going to put them quite close together there. You're going to have enough room to cut them out. Oops. I could have probably made a few more on here. Actually, what I might do, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to just take these off a minute. I'm going to put them all over one side, because this is a lot longer. The ones I did before, the actual material was quite short, so I sort of like did top and bottom, if you know what I mean. But this is quite long, so I can just sort of put them along the bottom. So if you've got a shorter piece of fabric, then sort of like do it top and tail, like that. But this is a little bit longer. Oops. Pop them down. And then the nice thing about using the double-sided tape is they stay in place as well, which is good when you stick them on. There we go. See, I could have even spaced them out a little bit better. Right, let's take the back of this one off. Oh, that's a bit creased under there. Oh, it doesn't matter because they're flowers. And it doesn't matter if you've got a little runkle in the back. So let's just try and get the back of this off. And just flicking it with a needle or a little pin is really good, because it just sort of like flicks it. Right, I'm going to put this. You get one chance of doing this, guys. One chance, because it's sticky. And then we just stick that on top like that. Make sure they're all stuck down nicely. I've got my little dowel actually. I'm going to just roll that on here. This is what I did the little ones with, this little dowel here. Just wrapped it around because I wanted them obviously quite small. Make sure that they are all stuck lovely, and then we are just going to snip them separately like this. This is why you need just that little bit of space in between, because if they're too close, that's a little spare bit I can use for something. If they're too close like this one, it's hard, then you'll sort of like see the little bit of metal, the little bit of wire popping through. And then I'm going to just make sure that they're stuck down. And I'm going to just give it a little bit, you know, of room around. I'm going to just sort of almost do like a little pointy top on these ones. Can you see? You can see the little bit of wire in the middle of that. So we'll just cut all of these out like that. Turn that over. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter about the shape of your wire underneath, because you can sort of like cut it to the shape that you want. You just need that wire, so you've got a little, you can bend your flower to a nice shape. Your petal, I mean, not your flower. Like that, just nice little petal shapes. And then again, if you had some green fabric, you can make some little leaves like this, couldn't you, as well. I only had that green organza ribbon to use for leaves. I'll put these bits on like that. Perfect. How pretty are these going to be? Now I do have some that red organza, so this week, next week, I'm going to make some organza flowers, some big ones with the tulle, isn't it? The red tulle that I got from Panda Hall. I will do that next week because it's not that far to Christmas, is it, guys? And I'm really not. I think I bought one present for my daughter and that's about it. Very unorganised, but do you know, I really don't mind. I really don't mind at all. It will get there. I'm not going to stress over it. Okay, so we should have 9 of these. And then I'm going to take my lighter and I'm just going to seal the edges, and it just gets rid of those little fluffy bits like that. Oops. Just be careful though. Let's just go around each one. We could trim that a little bit. It doesn't really matter because you're not going to see the base of it. It's going to be hidden. And by the time we've twisted them up and stuff, don't worry about your cutting out if you're not very good. But do be careful. Make sure you test your fabric before you pop a lighter on it, just to test a little bit and make sure it doesn't sort of burn or go up in flames or something. Make sure it sort of melts, so it's better with a sort of a synthetic fabric if you want to do this bit. There we go. Lovely. Okay, now what we're going to do, I'm just going to take it like that and I'm going to twist it just like that, just to give them a little bit of a twist for a minute, just to twist it up. And this is how we're going to get that little shape to it. Oops. Take it and twist it like that. Just twist it. So we've got little twisty bits. I'm going to, as many snippers. Just going to cut these bits off. We don't need them that long. Make sure that we only need little bits. Right. So 6, 7, 8, 9. Just got to make sure I got 9. Right, the other thing I'm going to do, I've got some, just to give it a little bit of colour, I've got some chalks. Now, if you haven't got chalks, you might have a nice, pretty, shiny eyeshadow that you don't use anymore, which you can use as well. So I'm just going to scrunch that up a little bit, and then I'm going to open it out. And can you see you've got this lovely little wrinkled up petal shape, like that. So you can just twist it and move it to however you like on there. And then I'm going to just add just a little bit of chalk, which I've done on these, just around the edge, just to give it a little bit of colour, so it's not such a flat colour. To take it out. Like that, whoopsie daisy. Little move, there we go. Okay. Let's move this around. Got my little chalks. This is really handy. This actually came with the chalk set. These are really, really old. Don't even know whether you can get them anymore. Probably, but... So I'm going to squash it up like that. I'm going to take a little bit of the purple and then just go around the edge. Like that. A little bit in the middle. So pick whatever colour you like. It depends what colour, sort of like your fabric or your... what's it called? Velvet you're using. Give them a little squash. Just the way you've got a few of the little sort of creases in there. You can always move them about a little bit more. Squash them up in a minute. I'm only doing one side. You don't need to do the underside of them. Unless you want to. Unless you've got a really big flower. If you're doing bigger ones, I would probably do a little bit, maybe on the underside as well. So just a little bit. And if you're going to be seeing the middle of your flower and not covering it up, I would probably pop a little bit of orange or yellow sort of in the middle. But there's no point in me doing that because I'm going to be covering the middle bit up. This one, I'm going to add a little bit of red on it as well in a minute. Just a little bit in there. So undo this little one. There we go. I'm using chalks, but I suppose you could use other colours. You could maybe have a little bit of a pen or something on there. Oh, I'm going to keep that one on there actually. I'm just going to take this darker red, just a little bit, because it almost doesn't look red. It's sort of like, it's got a nice darker pink sort of colour on there. So we're just a little bit. Again, this is optional. You don't have to. If you've got sort of a fabric with, you know, patterns on it or something you might be doing to go with something, you know, you don't have to do this bit. But I kind of like just adding a little bit, just a little bit of colour in there. But yes, I'm not going to be doing the glitter ones because that will just make too much mess today. But you do that when you finished it. You just add, you know, pop a little bit of tacky glue on there or something and just, you know, sprinkle a little bit of glitter on top. Or you could probably just use your stickles. I think actually what I did, I put stickles on and then sprinkled the bigger glitter on there. I think because the stickles is sticky. So there we go, that's those done. Just move that out. And then the glitter sort of stuck to it. Let's put that in there. Look at that, guys. So how lovely. So now we need a middle. I'm going to take my, oh, I've got a little bit cut there. Just cut a little circle out. Just like that. Doesn't want to be too big. Cut that out a little circle of This is just felt. No, we don't want them too big. So I'm going to put them like this around. So we have two either side, opposite each other. You want to sort of put these in. I don't want these too long. Like that. That's a sort of a smaller one, isn't it? You can put sort of smaller ones in. Like, so we need to stick that on like that. So I'm going to use a little bit of glue gun. Got my little dobby finger, loving this. Pop a little bit of glue in the middle, like that. Stick that on. Stick that one on. Just go around, filling in your gaps. Now again, I've done 9. Well, I'm going to put 6 on the bottom and 3 in the middle. But you can have as many layers as you like, or as many little petals as you like. Just push that down like that. Then I'm going to just snip that off. These are a little bit long. Then I'm going to just go around here, a little bit more glue in there. Just put one there, one there, oops, then one there. I'm going to just push that down. I'm going to take my dowel actually, and I'm just going to push that in like that, just to make sure that they are stuck down in there. And then we can move them about in a minute. I'm going to do the middle first before I start moving those around. So that's what it looks like. It doesn't look very neat and tidy, but you've got your little petals on there. Oh, I need that on my finger. And I'm going to take, these are just little odd pieces of my tool that I had left over from making, what was I making? I was making something or other. I was doing the little tulle flowers, wasn't I? Oh, that was the pink butterfly ones I was doing a video for. I'm just going to pop a little bit of this in the middle, like that, just to cover up those little bits of metal, the wire. Pop that. Just scrunch a little bundle of it up and push that in, like that. Oops. And then I've got in here, I've got some little petals, which we'll do another one in a minute. Look, I've got these little ones, so just have a little embellishment that you'd like. Actually, that would look really nice, wouldn't it? Little flower in a flower, or a little bit of bling. No, I'm going to go bling. Got to go shiny. Pop that in, just push that down. Like that, and there we go. And then what we need to do is get rid of all our little strings of glue. Then we'll push these up like this, in like that, and then we've got this beautiful little flower. Again, just move these around however you want to do that. And we've got a little flower. I just think they're so pretty. Now, if you want to put a little clip, I've got these little ones which you've got the little alligator clip, I think it is, and then you've also got a little pin on there, so you could have both. You can clip it or pin it. But I'm kind of liking these. Oops. These ones, the big ones, because I like that, because I sort of clip things on everything. So I'm going to take another piece. Oh, I've got glue strands everywhere. I'm going to cut a piece of this, make another little round, sort of round. It's roughly the same size as the back of that. I'm going to fold that in half And I'm going to just make 2 little slits in it, just so we can pop that little clip through. Because if you want to clip that on there and use hot glue, sometimes it doesn't tend to stick, it'll pop off. So if you make 2 little slits in there and slide that on like that, can you see? So it's just sliding on, and then you will glue that onto the back. I don't think it really matters which way around this goes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some glue, hot glue, and then what we're doing, pop a little bit in the middle, is gluing the felt to the felt, so we know really that that's going to stick nicely and it's not going to go anywhere. Oops, don't use too much glue because you'd be like a little spider's web everywhere. Look at me. There we are. And then just leave that to harden a little bit, and then you've got a little flower, and then that just clips and ready to go and clip onto whatever you like. And again, that's when you sort of like pop on your little bits of glitter and things like that. But I'm going to just leave this one. Fabulous, aren't they? So simple. So shall we do another one quick? I've got everything ready. Well, I've got one here, I've got this one ready, but actually I've got this one I'd like to do. This is a different velvet. This is off that dress. You know, my lovely dress that I've used a million times. We are really seriously coming to the end of that now. So I've got 2 pieces here, same as we did before. It's not as long. So I'm going to go sort of like top and tail on this one. Look, I bent that over ready to take that off. So we should take that off, put that down. Oops, I'm going to get my nail stuck to this one, aren't I? There we are. These are all ready. I need to come down this way because let's put this out of the way. So I'm going to pop that one on there. Take another one. These are the same. I've just sort of like used the same Stickles little bottle. And put these on like that. Just top and tail it. Oops, it's very sticky. This tape is very sticky, but it's so good. And then if you didn't have the sort of like the hem tape stuff, then I'm sure you've got a bit of double-sided tape, or if you don't have double-sided tape, you might have that hem tape. So I'm sure there'll be something you'll be able to use. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Right, now we're going to take this little bit, which I've already taken that off. And I'm going to just, again, stick this down on top like that and squish it down. Super simple. We do like simple things, but it's lovely. I'm going to turn that over because that's going to be really sticky on there. Just make sure, a little rolling pin, just make sure all of those are stuck onto there. Lovely, lovely. And then we can just, oopsie daisy, chop them out like this. I will, I think, make some bigger ones, but I think these are just nice to go. Probably could make some to go on the tree actually, if you put the little clips on. Actually I could clip those to my tree, couldn't I? Because I'm doing a nice eclectic tree this year, Christmas tree. It's going to be full of all sorts of bits and pieces. I normally go for sort of a colour scheme, but not this year. I'm going to be real, everything, anything goes. It's only Andy and myself here for Christmas anyway, so doesn't really matter, and I don't think George and Jessie will really mind at all, as long as they get fed. As long as they have some of the turkey, I really don't think they mind what colour our Christmas tree is going to be. And lots of fairy lights. I'm going to have lots of fairy lights this year. I don't normally have enough. So, nice and sparkly and shiny. So, let's just cut around here. Again, you don't have to pull these out like that. You can keep them round. You can have them whatever shape you like, big as you like, whatever fabric. But it's Shabby Saturday, so we have to have a nice shabby velvet, don't we? Around, there we go. Nearly there, and then once we've done this one, I will show you how to make the leaves. We'll add maybe a leaf or two onto this one if they will go. Don't go too close to your wire because you want that little bit of seam on there really. Right, so I'm going to throw these little bits away. We don't need those. Gather those up. Oopsie daisy. That one was what I was after. Pop those in the bin. Where's my lighter? Let's just get rid of these little fluffy edges, like that. I'm not going to colour this one. This one is too pretty. This doesn't need it. The other one was quite pink, so that's why I just added a little bit more, bit of colour to that one. But I like these as they are. Like that. So you're doing this, it just gets rid of the little fluffy bits that are outside of it. Like that. Nearly there. Pop that down. There we go, last one. Okay, perfect. Make sure to start from this one so it's cooled down. So I'm just going to scrunch those up. Scrunch them however you like. Look at that. It's a nice little scrunchy flower. Oops, I think I scrunched that one a little bit too much. Scrunch them up. That one's already done. A bit of a scrunch. There we go. Bend, bend, bend. And then that one. Perfect. Let's get a little one of these. I've got enough on here. Make a little circle. So if you wanted lots, I would do all your wire bits first. And then just have a big pile of these everywhere if you're going to do them in the same colours. And then just put them all together. Do it in like a little production line, couldn't you? I'm going to do two because I'm going to do another little thing to go on the back, a little clip. So let's just clip these off. Oops. Careful where the little bits go. Don't want these to be too long. Oops. But enough to stick down. Now, if you wanted to make actual flowers on a stem, obviously make your wire a lot longer. And then you could actually sort of like gather them up like this and hold them, and then maybe get another piece of wire and attach it to that and wrap it round, if you know what I mean, and then wrap another bit around, and then you can put these in like a little vase. I might try and do that with the big poinsettia ones that I want to make, or the little the shiny ones, tally ones. Right. Let's do the same here. Let's make sure we've got our little flowers, our little petals. Again, we can just put them on like this. Nice bit of glue. Stick them right in. So you want 2 either side, like that, opposite, and then you want to just put 1 there. Try and do it so there's no gap in between. Oops. 1 there. 1 there. Where's my little finger dauber? Push that on. Pop that down. Oops, stay on. Like that. So that's on. We don't want the gap. We don't want the gap in between. Like that. A little bit more glue on there. Pop that one there. That one like that. And then we'll pop that one just there. Just sort of hold that in. Like that. Okay, so that's the middle. I'm just going to let that just dry for a second. What shall we pop in the middle of this one? I did have a nice, oh look, I've got another one to do there. That would look pretty, wouldn't it? That's like a little pearl with little crystals around it. That's going to look lovely. Oh, let's put those in there. I've got lots of them to make. Push that in. Now we need a little bit of tulle. This is, like I said, this is just the leftovers. Let's just cut that off. Don't think I need all of that. Just scrunch that up. Add another little bit in there. Pop that in. Push that in. Lovely, lovely. Another little bit of glue. Lots of lovely glue in here. Then I'm going to just take my little bit of bling and hold that down for a second. Oh, and then we'll make some leaves. Shall I show you how to make the leaves? Look at that. So again, these can be adapted to however. So the basic, so you can just, you know now how to make a little leaf, a little petal. So you can make them as big or as small as you like. But look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? I love them. I absolutely love them. And I don't think this needs any colour on them. I think I'm going to make some with bigger leaves, bigger petals, sort of wider, I think. So it will sort of like take up a little bit more space around there. But lovely. But you could always add a few more to the back. Josh, I mean, you can stick that on if you didn't think it was enough petals on there. Just add a few more on there. But oh, love them. I just love them. I think they're going to look beautiful on my tree. Lots of lovely ones. So I'm going to, not going to put, what we got one without. Look, I'm going to put some leaves on this one. I'm going to pop a little clip on here, like I did. I've got another one. These are very, very inexpensive as well. I'm going to just, I'll pop some links under the video for, you know, some bits and pieces that I've got here, just in case you need to have a little peek and see if you can get them cheaper. You might be able to get stuff cheaper in your local shop. Or normally Amazon, isn't it? Just going to pop another little glue stick in there. Oh God. Oh, messy. Oops, no, we're on this one, aren't we? This way. There we go, a little bit in the middle. Turn that over. Just pop that on there. Don't need that. Right, I'm going to just leave that to dry for a second. Pop that over there. Oh, look at my little strands everywhere. And then I'm going to show you how to make these little leaves like this. super simple they are, really, really simple. So I've got a few there. I have this ribbon. It's 4 centimeters, I think, just under. It's like 1 3/4 inches wide. It's not got wire in it. If you had a wire one, it would be a lot better. I don't have any ribbon with wire in it, so I'm just going to take, you know, a piece which is roughly 3 1/4 inches, 9 centimeters, like that, so you can see that. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a little bit of this because I need to pop it down because we're going to glue it. I'm going to, on one end, just do like an inch snip either side, so you've got this little bit coming out. Just what I mean, just that little edge bit here. And then again, like a little inch or so down through there. I'll make that one a little bit bigger. Okay, so what we've got these 2 little flaps there. So I've cut this bit like that. And what we're going to do, we are going to glue a little bit of glue gun just down the edge of this one here, like that. And then turn it back over, and then we want to put that into the middle. That's why you need something that you can stick onto. I need my little finger dauber, and just stick that on there like that. So we've got that on there. And then you do the same with this piece on the back. Just run a little bit of glue down there. Glue gun's the quickest. I've tried the other glues and it doesn't work as well, but you can just glue that onto there like that. So we've got that. Can you see? Is that better? And then all we want to do is just cut this little bit off because we don't need that. Like so. And then we have our leaf shape. How good is that? Fold it in half. I'm going to just squeeze that together. And I'm just going to just melt it just a little bit. Just so it sort of defines that middle, that little middle bit. Do you know what I mean? So if you had, so it comes like that. So you've got like a little leaf. If this is wire, if you had one with wire, once you've done that, you glue that to the back of your thing. This, you could sort of like bend that into position, however you'd like to do it. But shall I show you again? It's so simple. Take a length of it, cut just along the edge, just like an inch, couple of centimeters down through there, either side. And then we want to put glue down this edge like that. Oops. Turn that in and stick it into the middle. My little finger dauber back on again, and then just push that down. Not quite sure though that one was in the middle, but a little bit of glue down through there, and then we just meet it so it meets the little point of the other side. And we just stick that down. So I want your little non-stick. If you've got a little silicone mat, it will be perfect to do that on. And just cut that down. And then we have this lovely leaf shape. Bend that in half. Just squeeze that. And just melt that. Just so we've got a little line down the middle. And again, if you wanted to get, if you got different ones, you could do your little lines down the side as little veins, but I'm not going to go that far. And then all we need to do is just wrinkle that up like that together. and then stick that underneath like so. So shall we do that? Let me pop this on. A little bit of glue. Take that, pop that down. Take this one. Haven't done that very well, but pop that on. Just stick that on like that. Oops, don't push too hard. I'm just going to squash my little petals on that one. There we go. So look, if you had them on with wire, you could sort of like bend those around. So I might have to just attach them to this leaf, to the petal, just with a little bit of glue in a minute. But aren't they just gorgeous? Really, really lovely. So guys, that is how you make these beautiful little flowers. You can make yourself a lovely little ring as well, which is beautiful. So that's the little leaves. Again, you can make them into a bit more pointy if you wanted to. Loving these. I just love them. I think they are fabulous. So then we've got the little clip that I can clip onto a little jacket. You can clip it onto your Christmas tree, your little pin board you've made. You can pop it into your craft room and just to embellish something. You can add little jewels onto there. I might use, because I've got to do a video for my little rhinestone applicator as well, the hot fix one, so maybe I'll add some little bits to these as well. But look at those guys, aren't they just lovely? Just fab, love them. So there we go, that's your Saturday, Shabby Saturday video for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're going to give it a go. If you do, please do send me some pictures. Pop them onto Facebook group. Or thank you very much to everybody that sends me all their lovely makes by email. Email address is linked under the video, so you can always send me your makes that way if you don't want to post them in the Facebook group. But there we go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon. All right, guys, bye-bye.